Welcome, the anointed ones. Not everyone watching your life wants to be seen. Some of them are guarding you from shadows you didn't even know existed. There's something unsettlingly powerful about realizing you're not walking through this world alone, even when it looks like you are. Most people think protection shows up loudly: friends, family, people who clap for you publicly. But the truth is far stranger. The ones who protect you the hardest are usually the ones you've never met, can't identify, and probably couldn't recognize in a lineup, even if they were standing there holding a sign with your name on it. Here's a fact most people never consider. Psychologists say humans are aware of less than 5% of the silent influences shaping their lives. That means the majority of the forces guiding, redirecting, and shielding you are completely invisible to your conscious mind. So when life mysteriously works out for you at the very last minute, it's not luck, it's not coincidence, and it's definitely not because you suddenly got your life together overnight. You've got unknown allies, high-ranking ones, and they do not play about you. There are moments in your life where you missed danger by seconds, avoided disasters your intuition didn't warn you about, or got opportunities without the usual grind. And while you were busy thinking, wow, that was close, your unseen backup was probably somewhere rolling their eyes like, do you see now why we keep pulling overtime for this one? Even your miraculous recoveries probably have them shaking their heads like exhausted parents watching a toddler sprint toward a wall. But here's where it gets intriguing. The higher your purpose climbs, the more elite your protection becomes. You don't attract this kind of cover by being ordinary. You attract it because your existence shifts things. You bring disruption, transformation, elevation, and sometimes even exposure just by showing up. And because of that, the universe, the divine, the unseen realm, whatever name you choose, has assigned forces to you that respond instantly, aggressively, and decisively the moment your destiny is threatened. So if you've ever wondered why certain people back off when they get too close, why some enemies can't follow through with their plans, or why certain situations collapse the moment they try to trap you, it's because someone with power you'll never fully comprehend is standing behind you with the universal equivalent of folded arms. You've got unknown allies in high places, and trust me, they take your safety a lot more seriously than you take your own. Number 1. You were marked for protection, long before you knew you needed it. There's a level of protection around your life that didn't begin when you became wiser, more spiritual, or more aware. It started long before you understood the weight sitting on your shoulders. You didn't grow into this covering, it was placed on you. You were marked for protection before you even had a direction, before you had language for the things you were tied to, and before you knew what you were actually walking toward. That's why so many things that should have destroyed you never even got close. You didn't survive because you were lucky. You survived because something higher already knew the level of warfare attached to your purpose. There are people who have had to fight for themselves their whole lives, but with you, there were moments when help came out of nowhere, doors closed right before disaster, and certain people were cut off from you without your input. Those weren't random seasons. That was your protection acting before your understanding caught up. You had unknown allies working behind the scenes long before you even learned their existence was possible. You didn't walk into this world unguarded. Life didn't wait for you to mature before putting you under surveillance. Your assignment came with a shield the same way a high-value package comes with tracking, alerts, and special handling. Even when you thought nobody was watching, your steps were being redirected, the wrong connections were being blocked, and the wrong relationships were being shut down. At the time, you might have been frustrated or confused. But looking back, you can see there were patterns of preservation around you that didn't match your decisions. Something outside of you was clearly working overtime. What's powerful is that you didn't have to earn this. You didn't have to pray the perfect prayer or hit a certain level of enlightenment. You were chosen, and the protection came with the choosing. You mattered before you even understood why, and because of that, forces you've never seen have been guarding your life long before you even knew danger was looking for you. Number 2, the higher the threat you are to darkness, the higher the rank of the forces assigned to you. One thing most people never understand about their own lives is that protection is never random. You don't get the level of backup you have unless you threaten something. And not threaten in a loud, dramatic way. Your threat is in what your existence disrupts. Some people challenge the surface. You challenge systems, patterns, generational cycles, emotional strongholds, and spiritual structures without even trying. That alone puts you on a different radar. When you're born with that kind of impact attached to your name, you don't get basic level protection. You get cover from forces that outrank the very things trying to break you. There's a reason why you've survived storms that swallowed stronger people. It's because the forces assigned to you weren't playing on the same level as the ones assigned to them. Your protection isn't equal because your influence isn't equal. Whether you know it or not, your presence shifts atmospheres, exposes lies, interrupts manipulation, and pulls truth out into the open. You don't have to try. The effect comes with you. That makes you a problem for anything that thrives in secrecy, confusion, or control. Because of that, darkness doesn't send beginners after you, and the universe doesn't assign beginners to guard you. Your battles have been intense not because you're weak, but because you're worth deploying high-ranking forces for. This is why things that were supposed to crush you couldn't. You weren't fighting alone. You had backup that made sure certain blows never landed the way they should have. You had interference on levels you didn't see. The truth is that the power watching over you was matched specifically to the threat you pose to negative forces. The bigger your spiritual footprint, the stronger the forces guarding it. You're not protected because you're fragile. You're protected because your life carries weight. And the higher that weight, the more elite the forces assigned to make sure you reach your purpose without being taken out prematurely. Number 3, people in power have been warned about you without you knowing. You'd be shocked to know how many people approached you with one intention and walked away with a completely different attitude. Not because you convinced them, but because something higher stepped in before they could even start. There are individuals with influence, resources, and authority who plan to use you, test you, block you, or manipulate you. Yet when they got close enough, they sensed a boundary they couldn't cross. They felt a resistance they couldn't explain. They backed off, not out of respect, but out of fear of what might happen if they pushed too far. This isn't superstition. It's a pattern that's been consistent throughout your life. People who pride themselves on being in control suddenly lose confidence when it comes to you. People who are usually bold become hesitant. People who are known for getting away with things suddenly decide you're not worth the risk. Some even try to intimidate others, but they become strangely careful with you. That's not an accident. That's a warning that reached them before you ever opened your mouth. Some of your biggest enemies were stopped before you even knew they had you in mind. Plans were interrupted, conversations were shut down, alliances meant to harm you fell apart. People withdrew suddenly without explanation. You didn't see the meetings, the plotting, or the backdoor conversations, but you saw the outcome. They changed their mind, or they mysteriously lost interest in coming after you. That shift wasn't because they got busy or distracted. It was because something, or someone, let them know you were off limits. Even those who don't believe in the spiritual world can sense when someone is covered, and whether they would admit it or not, something about you sends a signal that messing with you invites consequences they don't want to deal with. That signal didn't come from you. It came from the unseen forces overseeing your life. The truth is, you've been protected from battles you never even realized were forming. People in high places backed away not because they respected you, but because they feared the unseen backup standing behind you. Number 4, your protection doesn't come from popularity, it comes from priority. A lot of people think safety comes from being loved, admired, or surrounded by the right networks. But your life is different. Your protection doesn't come from how many people support you, know your name, or clap for you. It comes from the fact that your existence is tied to something bigger than public opinion or human approval. You are a priority in a plan that stretches beyond what you can see. That alone gives you a kind of backing that can't be explained through normal logic. This is why you've been protected even in seasons when you had no friends, no guidance, and no visible support. Even when you felt invisible, you were being watched over. Even when you felt unimportant, you were being prioritized. You were never protected because you were popular. You were protected because you were necessary. There are things only you can influence, people only you can wake up, experiences only you can translate into wisdom. That makes your life too valuable to be left unguarded. People underestimate how much value you carry because you don't flaunt it. You don't perform for attention. You don't need validation to know who you are. But your allies in high places don't care about the crowd's opinion of you. They care about your role. They care about your timeline. They care about your impact. You could be underestimated by everyone around you and still be heavily protected because your purpose has pull. And that explains why so many things that were supposed to knock you down didn't succeed. It wasn't because you were loud or well-connected. It's because your assignment made you a priority. When something is a priority, nothing gets to interfere with it without consequences. Your life has been preserved not for show, but for strategy. Your protection isn't based on public favor. It's based on divine importance. You don't have to be known to be guarded. You only have to be chosen. Number 5. There are people who helped you in ways you'll never be allowed to find out. Not everyone who influences your life shows up in ways you can recognize. Some of the biggest interventions have been invisible, silent, and uncredited, and that's exactly the point. There are people who made moves, blocked connections, and shifted outcomes in your favor without ever stepping into your awareness. They didn't do it for recognition. They didn't do it for thanks, and they certainly didn't do it to build a reputation. They did it because your life mattered enough for them to act behind the scenes. Your survival, your wins, and your breakthroughs are littered with these hidden forces. These people exist in spaces you'll never enter. They operate in corridors of influence you couldn't access even if you tried. They redirect, intercept, and guard without ever needing to tell you. Their work doesn't create fanfare or applause. It creates outcomes. Doors close without explanation, chaos dissolves without a trace, and opportunities appear just in time, all because of them. Most people chalk these things up to luck, coincidence, or timing, but for you, it's been deliberate intervention. Every time life miraculously worked out, these hidden allies had a hand in it. What makes this protection extraordinary is that it's strategic, not sentimental. They don't protect you because you're popular or likable. They protect you because the world benefits when you remain on your path. Their work is subtle, precise, and impossible to trace. They prevent disasters you'll never hear about, guide people who could have hurt you, and ensure that certain outcomes fall into place at exactly the right moment. You'll never know their names, faces, or even the full scope of what they've done, and that's intentional. Your path is preserved, even from your own awareness, until it's time for the results to manifest. The truth is, your life has been quietly engineered for survival and impact. Every unexplainable escape, every last-minute shift, every blocked attack, all of it is the work of unseen hands. These people, unknown and unrecognized, have been your secret strength, and their influence has ensured you never face the full weight of challenges alone. You are safer, stronger, and further along than you realize because of them. Number 6. Your enemies are more afraid of your backup than they are of you. People often assume your calmness, your quiet strength, or your refusal to retaliate is what confuses your enemies. But the truth runs much deeper. The people who try to study you, provoke you, or test your patience eventually realize something unsettling. The real danger isn't you, it's the forces behind you. It's the way interference shows up when someone pushes too far. It's the way consequences unfold around anyone who tries to sabotage your path. Your enemies may not respect you, but they fear the unseen response that always follows any attack on your life. This fear isn't rooted in superstition, it's rooted in patterns. People who have tried to target you have noticed that their plans don't land cleanly. Things collapse, information leaks, alliances break down, timing gets disrupted, or someone unexpectedly steps in to protect you. It's almost as if life refuses to let anyone get away with harming you. After a while, even the boldest troublemakers hesitate. They may still dislike you, but they won't take certain risks because they've learned the hard way that messing with you has side effects. Many of your enemies became quiet, not because they suddenly matured or found peace, but because they encountered resistance they couldn't explain. They felt blocked, drained, or exposed the moment they made you their target. Some of them even faced setbacks or losses that seemed unrelated, but deep down, they knew exactly where the shift started. That's why some people keep your name out of their mouth now. Not because they've forgiven you, but because the last time they tried something, life slapped their hand before they could even finish the move. Your backup is what creates the fear. Not your personality, not your words, and not your reactions. It's the fact that you're guarded by something that sees further, moves faster, and acts with more precision than any enemy ever could. They sense it, even if they can't describe it. And once a person realizes that you're more protected than you appear, they learn to approach you with caution. Because it's never been you they're afraid of. It's what fights for you when you're not looking. Number 7. You are watched in ways that keep you safe, not small. Most people think being watched means being controlled or limited, but your situation is different. The forces observing your life aren't focused on restricting you. They're focused on keeping you intact so you can fulfill what you're meant to do. Every season where you felt isolated, overlooked, or even abandoned wasn't about punishment. It was about protection. Your life has been monitored in ways that ensured danger never fully reached you, that opportunities aligned when they should, and that certain people or situations never gained the leverage they hoped for. The surveillance around you hasn't been to shrink you, it's been to shield you. There are moments you narrowly avoided disaster without even knowing it. Connections that could have hurt you fell apart. Conversations that could have misled you were cut off. Opportunities that would have taken you down the wrong path never materialized. You weren't just lucky. You were being guided, watched, and redirected by forces you couldn't see. Forces whose purpose was never to limit your freedom but to secure it. Every time life seemed to save you at the last second, it wasn't coincidence. It was precision protection in motion. This kind of guarding is strategic, not sentimental. It doesn't intervene to coddle or comfort. It intervenes to preserve. It doesn't stop because you're careless, distracted, or unaware. It stops when your trajectory or your purpose is threatened. Sometimes you felt invisible, but that invisibility was part of the cover, ensuring you could move without unnecessary interference. Your movements, your timing, and even your choices have been under subtle guidance to prevent derailment. Understanding this changes the way you see life's patterns. The odd coincidences, the doors that shut before harm could enter, the people who suddenly withdraw, all of it points to a system of watchful care designed to keep you alive, strong, and unbroken. You are not alone, and the watching is not about control. It is about ensuring that no matter what storms rage, no matter who opposes you, the trajectory of your life continues forward, intact and unstoppable. Number 8. Your growth was accelerated because you had reinforcement. You didn't earn. There's a reason your growth looks unnatural to people. You didn't rise at a normal pace, and you didn't develop the way others did. Some people take years to heal from things you bounced back from faster than anyone expected. Some people crumble under pressure you learn to stand inside, and while you've worked hard, there's a hidden truth behind your progress. You had help you didn't know about. You had reinforcement that came from a place beyond your effort, your intelligence, or your discipline. Your spiritual support system cleared paths before you reached them, softened blows that should have broken you, and accelerated lessons that should have taken years to understand. This is why people misjudge you. They assume you're simply strong, lucky, or naturally gifted. They don't realize your breakthroughs weren't only the result of your decisions. They were the result of higher forces making sure certain obstacles didn't slow you down. While others had to grind for every inch, you sometimes leaped miles because your backup was working ahead of you. You were being prepared for responsibilities you didn't even know were coming. Your mind was sharpened faster. Your spirit toughened quicker. Your discernment grew deeper without the long, painful process most people go through. Some doors opened for you before you were even fully ready, simply because your allies in high places cleared the space for you to learn on the go. Some losses didn't hit as hard because something intervened before the damage could reach its full impact. Even your setbacks were edited. Life trimmed the parts that weren't necessary for your development and left only what you needed to evolve. What felt like strength was often just protection in disguise. Your accelerated growth wasn't random. It was intentional. It was strategic. You were being positioned faster than others because your timeline demanded it. You had reinforcement you didn't ask for, you didn't earn, and you didn't even know existed. And that reinforcement made sure you reached levels people assumed would take you a lifetime to arrive at. Number 9. People in high places are drawn to you without knowing why. There are individuals in your life who appear unexpectedly, show interest at the strangest moments, or take unusual risks on your behalf, and they often can't explain why. It isn't charm, talent, or anything you've consciously done that draws them. It's the invisible pull of your presence, your assignment, and your energy. High-ranking people, those with influence, access, and authority, are unconsciously compelled to notice you, to protect you, or to step into your path in ways that feel natural to them, but strategic for your life. You might have brushed off their attention as coincidence or luck, but it's far from accidental. These people act without knowing why, and their interventions often come at critical points. A door opens just when it seemed impossible. A recommendation appears without effort. A connection offers more than it seems capable of providing. Their timing, choices, and even sacrifices seem random on the surface, but if you look closely, you'll notice patterns. People with resources and reach don't normally expend energy on someone unless there's something about that person they instinctively recognize. With you, that recognition happens even when they can't put it into words. This invisible attraction works because your life has weight. It carries implications, consequences, and influence that ripple out further than you realize. Your path, your purpose, and the way you move through challenges send signals that sensitive, high-level individuals pick up on instinctively. They feel a need to act, guide, or intervene without realizing it, almost like they're responding to something they can sense but not see. Their actions protect timelines, align circumstances, and ensure that your trajectory remains intact. The most striking part is that you'll rarely understand the full extent of their influence. These people may never tell you why they stepped in or why they saw you differently from everyone else, but their involvement shapes your life profoundly. You are surrounded by forces that notice your value long before you even comprehend it yourself, and they move to preserve it. silently, decisively, and often without a trace. Number 10. Your allies don't protect you. Emotionally, they protect your timeline. The forces guarding your life aren't concerned with your feelings, your comfort, or how much stress you endure. Their mission isn't to make your life easier or to hold your hand through difficult moments. They're here to protect the trajectory of your existence, the timeline that you're assigned to walk, and the outcomes that must unfold through you. Every block, every obstacle you avoided, and every last-minute shift in your favor was orchestrated to ensure your path remained uninterrupted. It's not sentimental, it's strategic. That's why you survived things others wouldn't have, why doors opened when they should have, and why some people or situations never had the chance to derail you. Protection wasn't about comfort, it was about preservation. Your allies intervened silently, sometimes invisibly, to remove threats, redirect energy, and make sure your assignment stayed on course. That's why certain battles seemed almost too convenient, certain escapes too precise, and certain timing too perfect to be accidental. Your life has been maintained with precision, and those who watch over you are not interested in easing your emotional journey. They're invested in your mission. This kind of protection explains why some events in your life feel orchestrated, almost as if the universe paused to make sure nothing fell apart. It isn't luck, it isn't chance, it isn't even you. It's a calculated system working tirelessly behind the scenes to safeguard the outcomes you were always meant to achieve. Your emotional resilience may be tested, but your timeline remains intact. Opportunities appear, doors close, alliances form, and dangers dissipate at exactly the right moments. Your allies prioritize the bigger picture over temporary feelings, and that's why you arrive at milestones others think impossible. Ultimately, the life you are living isn't random. The people, forces, and unseen interventions surrounding you are not protecting your happiness. They're protecting the future you are meant to create. Your timeline matters more than the present, and your preservation has always been about making sure nothing or no one can stop the impact you're destined to leave. Number 11. Your name travels to rooms. Your feet will enter later. Long before you ever walk into certain spaces, before you ever meet the right people, or before you ever take the steps you think define your path, your presence has already been felt. Conversations about you have happened without your knowledge, plans have shifted in anticipation of your arrival, and decisions have been made in preparation for the impact you're going to bring. Your name travels ahead of you, moving through rooms, networks, and circles that you haven't even considered yet. By the time you arrive, the environment has already been subtly adjusted to receive you. This is why certain situations feel strangely aligned the moment you step into them. Opportunities seem to open with timing that is too precise to be coincidence. People respond in ways that appear effortless or preconditioned. Doors that should be locked remain open, while obstacles that should block you crumble before you get there. You might notice these patterns and attribute them to luck or timing, but the truth is deeper. There's a system working ahead of you, ensuring that when your feet enter a space, the energy, the players, and the outcomes are already prepared for your influence. It isn't random who notices you or who decides to step aside. Your reputation, your presence, and the weight of your purpose are acknowledged invisibly, long before you make your appearance known. This preemptive adjustment doesn't happen for everyone. It happens because your life matters on levels most people don't even understand, because your path carries influence that stretches beyond the visible and obvious. The unseen forces at work don't just wait for you to act. They position the environment to support the mission embedded in your existence. By the time you enter, certain battles have already been neutralized, certain alliances have been formed, and certain doors have been cleared. You are stepping into a path that has been prepared for you in advance. Your life isn't a reaction to the world. It's a force that the world has been unknowingly arranged to receive. That's the reality of walking with unseen allies. Your arrival is anticipated, and your influence is already accounted for. Number 12. Your life has been intercepted. Multiple times without your awareness. There are moments in your life where danger, deception, or disaster should have found you, yet somehow it never did. You may have called it luck, coincidence, or good timing, but the reality is far more precise. Your life has been intercepted by forces you didn't know existed, forces that stepped in to reroute outcomes and shield you from harm. These interventions didn't happen randomly or because you were careful. They happened because there is a level of oversight on your existence that ensures certain threats never reach their intended target. Think about the people who could have misled you, the relationships that could have drained you, and the circumstances that could have derailed your trajectory. Many of these things were stopped, blocked, or neutralized without you ever knowing. A message never arrived. A meeting never happened. A plan fell apart just before it touched you. You might have felt frustration, confusion, or even abandonment at the time, but what actually occurred was precision intervention. The life you live today is a product of careful orchestration. Protection in action long before you could even recognize it. This interception isn't sentimental or reactive. It's deliberate and strategic. Every moment that should have been a setback, every person who should have caused chaos, and every opportunity for destruction that never materialized, all of it was handled in a way that preserved your timeline, your purpose, and your potential. You were never left alone to fend off battles you weren't meant to fight yet. Your trajectory has been edited, adjusted, and safeguarded to ensure that the mission you carry remains intact. What's remarkable is how subtle these interventions are. They don't announce themselves. They don't make their presence obvious. Most of the time, you remain unaware of just how many times your life has been rerouted in your favor. Yet, when you look back, the pattern becomes undeniable. Your survival, your progress, and your breakthroughs aren't luck. They're the result of a life that has been intercepted, protected, and carefully steered, long before you even knew danger was near. Number 13. Your destiny. Put a security system around you before you understood its value. From the moment you were born, your life carried a weight that the universe recognized, even if you didn't. Your assignment, your purpose, and the ripple effects of your existence demanded protection long before you understood what that meant. This wasn't about keeping you comfortable or safe in the moment. It was about safeguarding the future that required you to remain intact. Your life has always been under a kind of security that most people will never comprehend. The timing of events, the people you meet, and the circumstances you navigate are all part of a system designed to ensure that your destiny isn't compromised. The security around you isn't visible. It doesn't announce itself. It works quietly, efficiently, and often invisibly. Doors that should have closed remain open. Threats that should have reached you mysteriously dissolve. People who could have done damage are redirected, delayed, or blocked. Every event that could have derailed your path has been intercepted. Even setbacks have been calculated, controlled, and timed in a way that preserves the integrity of your purpose. You might have thought you survived chaos by chance or through your own resilience, but what actually happened is far deeper. Your life was being protected by forces that understood the stakes better than you ever could. What makes this protection extraordinary is that it was proactive, not reactive. It didn't wait for a crisis to show up. It was built into your life from the beginning. You didn't have to earn it, fight for it, or even understand it to receive it. The system was designed to shield your path so that when the right moment arrived, you would be able to step into it fully prepared, unbroken, and capable of carrying out the impact you were meant to make. This is why certain things in your life feel almost too precise, too aligned, and too timely to be random. Your destiny demanded a security system, and it received it before you even realized its value. You were preserved for purpose, shielded for impact, and positioned for influence, all long before you even knew what you were capable of achieving. Number 14. The higher powers. Protecting you aren't just guarding you. They're guarding the future that needs you. The protection around you isn't random, superficial, or limited to keeping you physically safe. It's far bigger than that. The forces watching over you aren't only concerned with the here and now, they are safeguarding the future that depends on your presence. Every intervention, every redirected path, and every narrowly avoided disaster is designed to ensure that the impact you are meant to have is not compromised. Your life carries consequences far beyond what you see or understand, and the universe knows that if you are delayed, harmed, or distracted, the ripple effect could disrupt entire systems, timelines, and outcomes that humanity and even the unseen realms rely on. This is why your protection is relentless, precise, and unyielding. It's not sentimental. It doesn't cater to your comfort. It's strategic and future-focused. The challenges you face, the enemies who oppose you, and the obstacles that appear in your path are all being carefully monitored and managed. You survive and thrive not just for your own sake, but because your life is pivotal in maintaining balance, creating change, and influencing events in ways most people cannot comprehend. You are essential to a larger plan, and the forces behind your life treat you as such. Every unexpected opportunity, every coincidence that seems too perfect to be chance, and every person who appears just when you need them is part of this system. They act with the future in mind, not the present. This is why certain attacks fail before they even reach you, why doors open long before you need them, and why moments that could have broken you are redirected into lessons, growth, and momentum. The reality is that you are living under a level of protection few can imagine. You are not only guarded, you are preserved for the sake of a future that requires you. Your survival, your progress, and your victories are vital not just for you, but for the unfolding of events that depend on your presence. The higher powers protecting you are not just shielding you, they are safeguarding the world that cannot afford to lose you. Your life is far more protected, orchestrated, and valued than you have ever been told. Every step you've taken, every obstacle you've narrowly avoided, and every opportunity that arrived at the right time has been part of a carefully designed system operating beyond your awareness. From unknown allies stepping in long before you recognized danger, to the highest forces aligning circumstances in your favor, your existence has never been left to chance. You've been guided, shielded, and accelerated in ways most people will never understand, because your life carries weight, purpose, and impact that stretches far beyond the visible. The truth is, you are not just surviving, you are being preserved. You have been guarded by invisible hands that don't just protect you for your own sake, but for the sake of the future that depends on you. Every moment of confusion, every silent intervention, every person who stepped in or moved out of your path was part of this grand design. The challenges you've faced were never random, the escapes you've experienced were never accidental, and the momentum you've gained was never by luck alone. The forces surrounding you have ensured that your timeline remains intact, that your purpose is unbroken, and that the impact you're meant to have will not be compromised. This is the reality of walking with unseen allies in high places. Your life has been monitored, preserved, and strategically positioned long before you fully realized it. You carry a presence, a power, and a significance that draws protection, alignment, and intervention in ways few can comprehend. The world you influence, the people you touch, and the outcomes your existence ensures all rely on the security that has been quietly operating behind the scenes. Understanding this changes everything. It shifts the way you view challenges, setbacks, and even the people around you. You are never truly alone, and every step you take has been, and will continue to be, under the watch of forces far greater than what you can see. If this message resonated with you, don't keep it to yourself. Make sure to subscribe to the channel, like this video, leave a comment sharing your thoughts, and share it with anyone who needs to understand the depth of the protection surrounding their life. Your awareness matters, your presence matters, and the more people who understand this truth, the stronger we all become together. God bless you.